I think it's harder to give money away than it is to make it. Foundations have a problem. How can we responsibly give this money away?
You have to understand how this money is going to be used, and you also have to understand those causes that won't exist or won't go anywhere without you.
Atlanta's history is replete with businessmen and community leaders who have stepped forward. It is a privilege to be a foundation trustee or a foundation manager. There's great joy that comes from the experience of getting to know the community and being able to help with things that need to be addressed in the community.
I really wanted my family to be able to run our foundation, giving back to the community and seeing those values actually that you think you've instilled in your children and maybe you share with your wife, your spouse. You see those things really come to life.
Being a part of a family foundation is fun, it's rewarding, but it's also challenging. We've all been learning in the process of how to be good stewards of the estate. They should be brought in now to start understanding that they have a responsibility to give back, to be their brother's keeper.
If you start children young, I think it makes them a more empathetic person. In the long run, they're saying now emotional IQ is even better than IQ, so the empathy factor is very important.
When John and I married in 2001, it brought our families together, and we started putting them on the board. And for me, the foundation took on a really different kind of shape.
It's my feeling that the generations ahead continue the Imlay Foundation so that they have that spirit of giving that will be necessary for people as it is today. There's a great sense of privilege that each of the board members have on being on a foundation and being able to help people with great needs. It's an awful lot of fun, it's an awful lot of satisfaction, and it's great passion and love that we want shown in the years and decades ahead. It comes back to the theme that we've had all through this, that people are the key and our success is their success.
John is a very generous person. He is a fighting competitor. After he takes your dollar, he'll spend 10 on you. Another unique thing about John, I've said to him, I just would like to have a quart of your blood.
He does have that high level of energy, and therefore his impact on whatever he's involved in is always strong. He's very analytical. He is a risk taker. That's his business, and goodness knows that philanthropy requires that time and time again.
We know not to go to them unless we have a good case. I mean, John is ultimately an entrepreneur, and he wants to understand your business case and how this money is going to make a difference. He's a visionary. He sees the city and the world and what it needs. And if you can make that connection between the cause and the vision and the stewardship, then I think you've got a good chance of getting half what you want.
It's a great experience to work with donors like that because we learn from them. They make us better.
John and Mary Ellen are such giving people, they're such loving people, but it's a huge responsibility, and they want to make sure that every penny they give is well used, and so that takes effort.
I think the foundation is going to reflect all of that, and already does in terms of its mission, but I suspect the legacy will reflect a lot of John and Mary Ellen's heart.
The foundation is designed to support a wide range of programs, and they therefore want to have an impact on many people and be very broad in that impact as opposed to being very narrow and deep.
We need to maintain balance in the community, in our giving. It's my responsibility to adhere to our bylaws, which have set up 5 specific areas that we give to, from the arts, disadvantaged, education, health care, the Atlanta community, and then, of course, we give 10% in Scotland, John's personal love there.
My job is to find Scottish charities. They're very, very grateful. I get comments from people I meet saying how much they value the impact that John's foundation has given them. And it's very, very comforting and exciting to be a part, because there's a lot of need out there.
Every one of the board members goes on site visits and comes back to report to the entire board of the foundation our observations and recommendations.
There are so many good things going on in Atlanta that I would never have known about. That's part of why I want the foundation to go on, because I want my children and my grandchildren to get the same thing that I've gotten.
Mary Ellen and John both encourage us, if you find something, then bring it to the board or bring it to the foundation, and let's see what we can do to help that particular need.
I don't think you realize how many people need help. It's a blessing. It's something that I think is a gift, and I really enjoy doing it a lot.
It'd be really cool if she decided she wanted to be in the foundation when she got to be old enough to decide. We hope that we'll instill in her mind that it is important to give back.
We are a very open board. People do not hesitate to express their opinion, even if their opinion is in disagreement with others. Take a vote and go with the majority.
Our children are not reverential, let me just say, that they have plenty to say to us. And so we do get a lot of fun out of the foundation.
We want to have that joy and that sense of humor and that sense of camaraderie in this foundation forever. One of the things in the foundation I want to see continued forever is not just giving money to large areas, although we want to support those areas, but to continue this real thrill we get from touching young charities that are just beginning.
We also are giving back to the technology community by doing angel investing in young technology companies.
It's very important in a place like Atlanta, where the culture of startup businesses is not as ingrained as it would be, say, in Silicon Valley, and where young people have to understand that you have to take risk and that failure is not a bad thing, that's going to happen, and you get up off the floor and you start again.
If you have a vision or a dream or whatever it is, and you think you're going to make a difference or you're going to make a change, John's like, great, more power, I'm behind you.
I do not want to stipulate what next generations give. Looking towards the future, we want them to make the decisions at that particular time in history. My intent is that this foundation is as motivating to the future generations as it is today, then they will make the right decisions on giving.
It's clear at some point they're going to have to take the leadership, and they seem to be wanting to do that.
Seem to be up to the task.
And looking forward to doing it. So that was what we needed to know from them.
And as long as it's positive, and as long as there's passion, as long as there's joy, we want them to continue the foundation in the same spirit that it was begun.
To whom much is given, much is required. And we have all been given much. And I think that it's our responsibility and our joy to do it.